Now as you can see, that is one serious transmission fluid leak. And I think I got the right item to address that. And what we're working on today, 1978 GMC square body truck. I picked this thing up in Arkansas a couple of weeks ago, and we got a lot of issues, some minor. Obviously transmission leak like that, that's pretty major. We need to address that today, because I am not driving this truck anymore until that is completely solved. And so that's what this video is today. So let me go grab the transmission panel we'll be installing, and then we'll dive right off into this video, my little buddy. And the interrupter. Yep. From time to time, she will interrupt a video. B&M transmission pan. This is for a Turbo Hydromatic 350. That's the part number. Link will be in the description if you care to purchase this pan. So let me take it out of the box, show you what it looks like. Got your destructions, gasket. There's the mounting hardware and spacer, decal, and there's the filter as well. Only the best. Overall, this is a really nice looking unit. It's finned. There's the B&M logo. There's your drain plug, and it does come with the sending unit. And I did notice in the bag it does come with a plug if you're not going to be using it, which I will not be, at least for now. Now the reason I bought this is, one, it's going to hold 3 extra quarts of fluid, which will help for cooling, and 2, it's really notched right here. And from what I read in the reviews, this should clear the stock cross member on the old truck. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Otherwise we're going to have to trim that, which I don't really want to do. So I'm hoping this will bolt right up with no clearance issues whatsoever. There is one more item I did get that I forgot to mention, and that's a dipstick. Let me grab that real quick. It's made by TCI. It's a locking dipstick. Looks pretty nice. Got the little locking end right there. Comes with the gasket and some mounting hardware. So I'm gonna try to install that, because you ought to see the dipstick I have. Yeah, there's no rubber there. All that's missing, so it just goes all in there. It ain't even bolted down. That definitely could be contributing to a transmission leak as well. Mug time with a little BM decal on the stash. This is the proper way to jack up a truck. Before I get any further, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this whole mess up. Plus I got a lot of crust and dust that fell off this truck doing some other stuff. So let me clean all this up, and then we'll get up under the truck. Wasn't very tight. Yeah, that oil looks real good, don't it? Yeah, it's pretty dark.
That's straight. How straight is that?
What is straight?
The water cover. The water.
Oh, the oil coming out? That's not water, it's oil.
Oil.
Yeah,
Can't
oil.
touch it.
Yeah, touch it. It's warm. Never heard of Parts Master. Where is it made? I guess they're located in San Antonio. Doesn't really say where it's made. Got me a Napa Gold 1060. Got it filled up with some oil. Put that on there. Alright, now that I got the oil change done, we can pick back up on the video, which is this right here. I guarantee you problem one is this pan. I mean, there's the gasket right there. It's just crumbling right onto my finger. But we definitely need to reseal this pan, or just replace it, which is what I'm going to do. Now I did discover something that's going to be probably an issue. With a stock pan, you can't even get to these back bolts. I don't know if there's going to be any issues with this portion of the cross member. So there's one of the two things I can do. Remove it. If I do that, it may never go back on. This thing is ugly and bulky looking. Or two, just trim this section out, or whatever we got to do. That might give me what I need. We'll figure that out here in a minute. Let me go to this side, because we also got some more leaks higher than the transmission pan that I probably need to address as well. You see that right there? That's that upper transmission cooler fitting. That thing is pretty wet. I'm kind of thinking that's going to be an issue as well. It might just need to be tightened up. Also, that loose dipstick, that grommet could be bad. So we're going to address that as well. Yeah, this is one crusty, leaky situation. Let me go ahead and grab some tools and see if we can't go ahead and drop this transmission pan and get that crusty thing out of the way. Oh crap.
Oh.
I need a bigger pan.
So bright.
Oh yeah, that looks good there, guys. I think for now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is clean all this up, take that filter off, and probably just spray this with brake cleaner, clean it up really good. Check my surface, make sure it's nice and good as well. Once it's kind of somewhat not doing this anymore, we'll bring the new pan up and see what's gonna have to be done right off in this area. That's probably good for now. I just want to kind of knock some of that crust off before we try to install the new pan. So let me wipe this down real quick and then we'll go grab that new pan. But I can tell you right now, we're not going to be able to get to those bolts right there. I'm also kind of concerned, this truck being on a 5.7 drop, how low does this set? Never even crossed my mind to think about how low the pan sits on this truck being lowered. But I'm gonna go ahead and install it and see what it does. If it doesn't work or if it's too low, I guess I can always take it back off and just put either the stock pan back on it or just find one that's more shallow. If it doesn't hang too low to the ground, then maybe we'll run it. I'm gonna go ahead and decrust.
Decrust?
Yeah, look at all that. I'm gonna decrust all this right here. A little bit.
Oh my gosh. It's raining dirt now.
As you got your really no glasses.
You don't have your glasses.
Getting scolded by an 11-year-old.
Good.
But he's right. Safety first.
You get some crap in your eye.
Yeah, that's it. Have a bad day. I'm telling you. On my little scraping and cleaning, guess what I discovered? You look at that right there. It's a bolt and a nut. And you got two right here. You got two right there. And I think there's two on the side of the frame. I don't know exactly where they go. And then plus whatever holds the transmission mount itself. I think it might just be easier by the time I was to here cut and drill and grind and all that stuff. I could probably just drop this and then really clean it all up and get all this gunk and stuff off. I can tell you right now, this is going to be a mess. Let me get some gloves on so I don't get all this all over my hands. Guys, I think temporarily I'm going to install this old transmission pan. I need to jack the transmission up and support it. Probably a good thing I took this thing off, because she needs a good decrusting and just a good cleanup. You want to get in the cars and trucks working on these old classics, these crusty, rusty, dusty turds? That's what you got to contend with. Just a part of it. But the most satisfying thing, at least for me, is at the end result when you put it all back together and it's nice and clean. Satisfying for me. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do now, I'm off camera because this ain't a part really of the video. I'm gonna decrust that, clean it up, go ahead and clean the transmission, get all that gunk that's on the back side that I couldn't get to because that was in the way. Clean all that up, probably take that old pan back off, go ahead and start putting on the new one. I'll have to figure out a way to hold that transmission up while I do that. That way I can easily bolt the transmission in place before I put that on. So let me do a whole lot of boring stuff that y'all don't want to see. That way I can bring y'all back to what y'all really want to see, which is the mug. Yes, right. Work to do. Spark hit you? That's alright. Now you got a lot of practice. Here's one of his. That was his first one. That's kind of his second one. That one's kind of turned out okay. Got to work on gun technique, but he wanted to try it out. You got to start somewhere. Well, as usual, old Charlie takes things to the next level. In all honesty, I started cleaning this, getting all that crud, gunk and oil off of it, and as I was wiping it away, the paint was coming with it. So at this point I just decided I'm gonna go ahead and strip it all down and paint it. And the reason why I had my son practicing welding, he wanted to try it, was right here it was split right there, and so I went ahead and ground that down, welded it, repaired it, and then cleaned it up. Turned out halfway decent, and I'm not that good of a welder, I can promise you that. Yeah, I did both sides. So now all I got to do is get this ready for paint, pretty much wipe it down. I did kind of sand this down a little bit, or grind it down, so to speak, to kind of bring it away from this pan. So I think that's going to be all right. Just need to skeet a little black, and this thing will be ready to install. And speaking of installing, we're about to go inside the house and install some pizza and our stomachs. You like welding? What do you like better, welding or pizza? I think I already know the answer to this.
Welding.
I didn't expect that. I figured you'd say pizza. That's what we're about to go do. Get some pizza.
About to eat some welding.
All right, we're ready to install the new filter and the extension. And then after that, we can install the pan. Here's the extension, gasket, and then they give you 2 long screws that'll screw in the original location. Alright, next is the filter. Get 3 screws and 3 nuts. I recommend putting a little blue Loctite on it so the nuts don't back out. Even though it looks kind of crooked and funny, that's how it goes on there. Alright, let me clean this surface off one more time, and I guess we'll get the pan ready to install. Got my little buddy right here with me. He's learning as we go. Now I would say the most disappointing thing about the transmission, the transmission pan that B&M offers, quart gasket. Not a big fan of these, but we're gonna make it work with what we got in the kit. We're just gonna need a little RTVs. I think I'm gonna do it on both sides. Put it on the pan, put the gasket on, and I'm gonna put a little on the top side that will face the transmission. I guess the downside, if I ever remove this, it's gonna be a little difficult cleaning that up. But I'm okay with that as long as this thing is completely 100% sealed and not leaking. I'm satisfied with that. When I installed the pipe plug, they say you can use Teflon tape, but I can't stand that stuff. Loctite 567 if you want to know what I used. And the drain plug, which is kind of nice, it's actually magnetic. Pretty cool. So if you got a little metal floating around in your oil, this old magnet will pick it up. By the looks of that old pan I dropped, I'm probably gonna have some more metal being stuck to this. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and RTV this down, get the gasket in place, and then we'll go back to the truck. Tell you what, it's always hard to get that first bolt started. Whew. Let me finish running all these by hand. I'll get them zapped in, and then we'll go ahead and torque them down. B&M recommends 12 to 13 foot-pounds. So I got the old snap-on electric torque wrench, 3/8 drive. Got it set for 13. I'm gonna start torquing these down.
Told you wanted.
Alright guys, you get the idea. Let me finish torquing these down. I'm gonna go ahead and torque the drain plug down as well. That's supposed to be 25 foot-pounds. And then after that, the transmission pan will be officially installed. So we're actually the next day. I went ahead and let that RTV cure overnight because it said it allowed 24 hours for it to cure. So I went ahead and did that. So now we're ready to put the cross member back in. But I want to go ahead and put a brand new transmission mount. Yeah, there's the old one. I don't want to go back with that. So this is a brand new one from Energy Suspension, polyurethane, made in USA. Nice little piece. So I'm gonna sneak that on there real quick, and then I'll grab the cross member and get that all buttoned up. Guys, this looks a whole lot better than it did when we first started. That old cross member all cleaned up, painted, new hardware, new transmission mount, plus that B&M transmission pan. Everything looks really, really good. Plus all that crust and dust and crud, it's pretty much gone. So now that this is all buttoned up and ready to go, we can get this thing back down on the ground and start putting the red juice right off inside here. Well guys, not going to be able to fill this up and run it. I put about 5-6 quarts. Came back this morning, getting ready to start the truck up and go ahead and go through the process of getting this thing full through all the gears and all that stuff. But I noticed that leak. Small little puddle this morning. So needless to say, I'm highly frustrated. It looks like this quart gasket, which honestly I was afraid was gonna happen. I don't like quart gaskets, never have, and at this point, as you can see, I never will. So now what I'm gonna have to do is, unfortunately, drain everything I put in it. Luckily I saved the container because I want to reuse everything that's in it. And I'm gonna have to reseal this pan with something else besides a quart gasket. Once that's all said and done and I can verify this is fully sealed, then we can move back up top and finish this video. There you go guys, new gasket in place. This gasket is made by Moroso. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested. A little bit on the pricey side, about 40 bucks with tax. But the biggest bonus, this gasket is reusable. And you install it dry, no RTV needed. I would say the only thing I needed to do is I went ahead and changed out the bolts to longer ones because I wanted a little bit more thread engagement than what was provided in the kit. So far, after 24 hours of being full of fluid, no drips, no leaks, nothing. So I'm pleased with that. And I did slightly overfill it just to see if there was going to be any issues. And as you can see, none. And of course my little buddy is back in the shop, hanging out with old Dad. He's been helping me out, been quite helpful and useful. Plus I just like having him around. Alright, now that he just laid down, he's going to have to get back up because we got to lift the truck up, set it down so we can officially run the engine and get the fluid warmed up, cycle gears and do all that stuff, and then check fluid for real. Alright guys, she's been running about 10 minutes. What you want to do when you fill it up, you want to cycle through all the gears when it's warmed up. Every time you add a little bit more, just cycle through the gears, mainly reverse and drive. Put it back in park while it's idling, check your fluid. Right now she's just under the full mark. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do, take it around the block real quick, kind of just run it through its paces, bring it on back and we'll check the fluid, and then we'll wrap the video up. Yeah, them old mid 73 to 80 square body hoods, you gotta sneaker back and then shutter. This one ain't never been creased up, so I don't want to mess it up. All right, let's jump in the old, bump my son. Let's jump in the old 78, take a little cruise around the block. I'm just gonna shoot it up the street, come right back. Gotta wait on this blue car to pass. Hurry up, blue car. Looks like I got some rain on the way, maybe. Drop, we gotta drive slow because she will bottom out. I can pretty almost nearly guarantee you that. Watch yourself, 305. Scoop, but it's got the cool look. Speaking of cool, look at us. We are styling and profiling with our Amazon shades. Alright, we're gonna head back to the shop, let it set for 5 or 10 minutes, see if we got any drips. Alright. Fluid's still full, so everything looks good there. Go ahead and shut her off, let her sit for a while, check for leaks. I guess we'll wrap the video up. Really burping in my video. My little truck's been parked for about 20-30 minutes, and guess what? Still got leaks. However, I don't think it's the transmission pan. Let me take y'all down below and show you all the leaks I found outside of the pan. This side right here looks really dry. I really don't see anything leaking out of those cooler fittings. That new dipstick I got looks like it's sealed. Not 100% sure on the kick down. It might be a little weepy. It looks like this side's dry. Now initially I noticed a leak right here, and I saw it dripping, running down here. However, look how wet above the gasket is. So more than likely, this front pump is leaking. It's definitely not the torque converter, more likely the pump. I doubt y'all can see in there, but looks pretty wet, kind of sort of on that bottom. This side is also wet, but if you look at that shifter mechanism, you see how wet that is. So I guess there's some kind of seal inside there, maybe an O-ring or something, and it's leaking as well. And back here, this is probably my biggest leak, is this deal right here. So there may be some kind of O-ring or seal that's inside there, causing this whole backside to be wet. Well, that's extremely frustrating that that new B&M transmission pan did not solve my transmission leak. Looks like I got various leaks to contend with, and quite honestly, don't think I can fix all of them. Especially that front pump seal. You're gonna have to pull that whole thing out and disassemble it, and I'm not about to do that. If I did that, I'm just gonna have it rebuilt. But the new B&M transmission pan does look really good. And obviously a lot more meat right there on the side. I'm almost 100% positive the pan leak is solved. It's just the rest of the leaks I gotta deal with. So maybe if I can fix the shifter linkage leak and that speedometer mechanism, if I can get those two leaks fixed, and I'll just have to live with it until I figure out what I want to do. Do I want to rebuild this transmission or replace it, or maybe even go 700 R4? That way I can have 4 gears instead of 3. But outside of that, I think the transmission pan looks good, and with this being on a 5.7 drop, not too low to the ground, pretty good ground clearance. I'll go ahead and end the video, put the truck back down on the ground, show you the space it's got, and then pretty much wrap this video up. Alright guys, like I always say, until then, thanks for watching. Now we got a new mug. What do you want to say?
Goodbye and thanks for watching.
Truck's on the ground, and there you see the pan. Let me hit it from the side and show you what it looks like. Square body truck, 5.7 drop, B&M transmission pan. It hangs down lower than the frame, I can say that. I guess install at your own risk if you're running a 5.7 on a Chevy, or in this case GMC square booty.